Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Art Whisper 88. This is going to be a different episode. I'm not going to rely too much on my stencils. Instead, I am going to use these simple tools. This is a mixing stick. And I have these spreaders, these plastic spreaders I use for patching walls. And I thought I could use them as like oversized palette knives. So instead of using a brayer, I thought I could use the sticks instead. So I will start with some Blickcrylic black and some phthalo blue. And then maybe for contrast, I'll have a little bit of green. So I'm going to start with this. I'll just drag this across the plate, like so. And so the imperfections kind of create these textures. Okay, then as usual I will put my scribbling . And here is my Arnhem paper. And let's see what the result will be. Now, since the paint was not applied with a brayer, I'm expecting a lot of heavy areas. I'm not even sure if the scribbles will show up, but it's an experiment. Okay, I will leave this for 5 minutes just to allow the paint to get absorbed in the paper. And I will wash out my spreader. Okay, let's see what we got. It's very much like an oil painting with the pools of color. You have some irregular edges there, which is okay. I do like these textures and the mark of the vertical stroke. Okay. Here's the result. It's very painterly, and I like it. Here's a detail. Now, like I predicted, there will be some very wet areas, and then like here in the corner there are dry areas, and the scribbles did transfer a little bit. So this is the first layer. I'm going to see if I can lay a second layer using the same method without the use of a stencil. So I'll air dry this and I'll be right back, so don't go away. Now I just realized what a fascinating ghost print this is, so I will not let this go to waste, and I'm going to use raw sienna. And some beige. This time I will be using my wide brayer. Okay. Again, I'm going to put my scribbles. Maybe this time it will be more apparent. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes. Let's see what we have. It's pretty exciting. Oh, these are awesome textures. How cool is that? It's a very complex mix of colors. It almost looks like a reflection in the water. I don't know if you are familiar with Claude Monet's water lilies. It kind of reminds me of the lily pond where he paints water lilies in a pond, and he captures these beautiful reflections. Anyway, I'm very thrilled with this result, considering it's a ghost print, and I really didn't know what to expect. But like I always say, you won't know until you try it. And that's the joy of discovery. So anyway, this gets to be air dried, and I will work on the next step. Again, I'm going to try to capture this ghost print, and I'm going to use Blickcrylic red, bright red, and so bright red on one side, and let me see, vermilion on the other. And this is like a leftover. So I'm glad to make use of it. So I will start with the deep red. And hopefully this watery vermilion will activate the dried up paint that's underneath. I'm also going to do an experiment by letting this sit for a couple of minutes. I'm hoping that the wet top layer of paint is going to soften what's underneath and hopefully allow it to be lifted. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes. Let's see what we got. I can see that the paper has absorbed a lot of water. Pretty cool. I love this part with all the variations. Now this is a much more plain surface, but that's okay. This can serve as a backdrop for something. So again, this gets air dried and I will proceed to the next step. Okay, this time I will experiment and leave this a little bit longer. I'd say maybe like 15 minutes to 20 minutes and see if this longer time frame will pick up more paint. Okay, it's been about 20 minutes or so. Let's take a peek. I think it's worth it to wait. I think the transfer is fantastic. I can tell. There's always a risk of the paper tearing, but I think the results are worth the wait. Worth the risk, I mean. Yep. I'm going to try doing this from the other side. Yep, there's a lot of tears. Like I just punched a hole in the paper. It happens. Oh, but I think the result is spectacular. Let me give you a close-up. This is siding. Reminds me of the walls on the street where you have posters and people rip them off. I think this is the best one of all. It has a lot of tears, but that can be fixed with some Mod Podge or some matte medium. So this gets air dried, and I will proceed to the next step. Okay, this is a little segment on damage control, and I looked at the tears on this print and I got very discouraged, and I walked away, went to bed, and it's the next morning, and I found that the tears left on the plate can be easily removed. I mean, easily, I mean that they will come off if I pry them off carefully. So I was able to do that with the large piece here, kind of like a picture puzzle. So I can use my Mod Podge and slowly put together the tears. And then some of these, the tear is not detached yet. Here, let me show you. This one is pretty bad. So I can place some of the Mod Podge underneath, like so, and then very gently press it down. The same with this. It's kind of like doing a collage, except that it's the pieces that had come loose. Okay, so now I'm just putting the Mod Podge on the raw paper just to seal it, and when I put the torn piece back, it will have a foundation of glue to sit on. Okay. So here's the part where I match the torn piece. You see, if I press on the gel plate, the paper comes right off. I know this is tedious, but it's an attempt to fix a problem. Okay. I think that's a lot better than what it was. I'm not a big fan of doing this, but I just wanted to show you some damage control in case this happens to you. So I'm going to let this dry and then maybe apply some collage on top or place another layer. I'll see how this goes. So I'll be right back. Okay, here we are at the second portion of this video. This is the first pull, and I want to overlap a brighter color, maybe something like vermilion or cadmium orange. Now these are at the end of their lifespan, so I'm going to try to make use of every little bit of it, and so I want the brighter colors here and here, so as a reverse it will be here and here. Intersperse that with some green. Okay. Okay. And as usual, I will put some more marks. Let's see if this will work. Now, hopefully this will not tear. I will be careful not to leave this on too long. Okay, let's see what we got. An interesting blend. Pretty interesting result. It's very different from all the other pieces that I've done. Okay, let me see if I can retrieve this ghost print. This is the other piece. Okay. Pretty cool, huh? Makes a nice background. I may add some more, but I have to let this air dry first before I make that decision. So I'll be right back. Okay, this was the piece that gave me quite a bit of problems with the tears. I think now they're not noticeable now that the Mod Podge or matte medium, I forget what I used, has glued the tears down. So now I'm just going to block. I'm going to have a section here of a light color and a dark color here. So, which means it will be reversed on the plate. So here is the clean plate. I'm going to use Then a column of blue here. Okay, so here's to refresh your memory. Let's see how this goes. Now, surprisingly, sometimes the pieces that I'm not crazy about, they sometimes turn out to be my favorites. I don't know about this one. It's all an experiment. So let's see what I got. Okay, interesting. Let me show you the close-up. It certainly has a lot of textures. And it's a departure from what I usually do with the reusable stencils. This is very free form, and this is more closely related to an abstract oil painting. So let me let this air dry, and then I will come back when this is dry and decide what else I can do. Now I'm going to try to recover this. I'm going to use matte medium. I'll see if I can use a brayer and going to try it on this one instead. This is really experimental. It's outside my comfort zone, but I do want to explore and see what happens. It's pretty interesting textures. Oh, I hope this doesn't tear. There you go. I was able to capture the blue and the white. So again, I will let this dry and recap. Okay, everyone, I am happy to announce that this is the final portion of this long journey. I was able to go through my box of scraps, and I have here some black tissue paper and some copy paper. So I'm going to start with one of the ghost prints, and I feel that this will complete the picture. Now, this is a mixture of Mod Podge and I would say 20% water, so it's easier to spread, but at the same time it does not compromise its stickiness. Okay, that is ghost print number 1. This is ghost print number 2. This is the one that was giving me problems with tearing, but like I had mentioned before, sometimes the most problematic ones turn out to be the ones that I like the most. Okay, now unfortunately there are a few smears here on the top because of my clumsiness, but I'm hoping that when I decide to have this framed, I'm going to matte this so the smears will not show. Okay, that's ghost print number 2. Here is ghost print number 3. Now this is a piece of a stencil that I used. And I thought it would give some contrast. Okay, that's number 3. This is the last one. So I'm hoping that this, the white of the copy paper will contrast with the background. And I am particularly fond of this circle symbol. And it is a recurring theme in my work. I have been using it for a very long time. There we go. Just a few pieces of collage, I believe, completes the image, and this way I make it my own, because a lot of abstract art tends to look very similar because the technique is very similar with the palette knife work and brush work and so on. But I think by adding these clear cut shapes, I think it makes it different. So that's it for the collage. And I will wait for the collage to dry and then I will recap. So don't go away. Okay, the collage has finally dried under the desk fan, and here is the first print. Oh, here is a close-up with the collage pieces. And I think the addition of the graphic elements kind of ties the image together. So this is the red piece. Here is the second piece. The same with the graphic elements, the copy paper and leftover stencil. Here is a close-up of the texture. I really like the free-form abstract background. It's something very different. It's a looser treatment of an otherwise very formal background. Okay, that is print number 2. Here is print number 3. This is the one that had been giving me problems with the tears. And I actually like this one the most because it's very complex. It has a lot of action going on. Here is a close-up. I especially like the background with the interplay of textures and colors. Okay, that is print number 3. And here is print number 4. I like this one too. I like the blending of the orange and the green. It's a close-up of the textures. I also like this part with the little fragments of black. Okay, so there you have it. 4 prints, 4 collages, and it was a long journey, but I'm very happy that you came along for the ride. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Please give me a thumbs up if you would like to donate to my PayPal to help defray cost of production, please do so. And I do hope to see you next time.